The Seattle Kraken continue to perplex us, or me specifically. Ryan Lindgren will be their 5th defenseman on a 4-year, $4.5 million deal. He will join a defense core that already includes Alexiak, Montour, Evans, Dunn, Larson. Are the Kraken aware that you have to score goals too?
You do. I mean, last year you could tell they weren't exactly very fond of it. They've tried to acquire some offense this offseason. I wouldn't be surprised to see them trade off of their strength, which I think is defense, in order to address a need, which is offense. They do have guys. So this is what I've been talking about all day. Guys are going to get way overpaid in free agency. I actually don't think this is an outrageous overpay for Ryan Lindgren.
Okay.
He was horror awful with the Rangers last year.
Yep. And not much better with Colorado?
List all of the good seasons on the Rangers last year.
Nobody had a good year.
Right? And yeah, obviously, Colorado, you expect them to be better there. He put up a number of very good seasons before that, though. He was Adam Fox's defense partner, right? So I think there's the potential there. You sign him to, by what is today's standard, not a completely outrageous deal. The value that you could use in a trade is potentially trading off one of your defensemen who's already under contract.
Yeah.
Who is that? Great question. But you have lots of options. So that's where I see the logic.
Yeah, it can't be a complete picture yet. But every time I say that with the Kraken, it freaking is.
Yeah, you don't sign him to be your 5th guy.
Jesse, what do you think about the Lindgren thing? Do you think that they just double down on their strength, keep the group together of big, towering defensemen and Vince Dunn? Or are they making a move here?
I think if you can send Jamie Oleksiak to the Sun, if he goes there and just explodes with Father Time and everything ends, I think this deal is fantastic. Yeah. Ryan Lindgren should be your second pairing left side D. I think he fits in perfectly there. And at $4.5 million, that's not $4.5 million of yesterday. That deal's going to look very good come 2028 and 27 and whenever this extends to. Like, I feel like it's a reasonable price for this guy who's only 27. And as long as you can, I think, move off of that Jamie Oleksiak contract, that's only one more year. It's expiring.
Yep.
I think this looks very reasonable for the Kraken. I don't hate it.
Okay.
It is the Kraken to a T, though. Man, this isn't sexy at all.
Yeah.
This isn't,
Let's sign it long term.
This isn't high. This isn't low.
Yeah.
They just specialize in, I don't even know if it's French vanilla ice cream. I think it's just vanilla. It's just regular old, no sugar added. The Kraken need...
They're plain yogurt.
They need... give me a reason to watch the Kraken, man. You know what I mean? I'm not even calling them bad. I'm not calling their process bad. But the problem with the Kraken, and it's not fair, is they're always going to be compared to the Vegas Golden Knights. Where's the zhuzh, man?
There's no electricity.
There's nothing. I like their goal horn.
Sure.
That's pretty cool. You don't hear it much. They got to fix that. I don't hate this deal in a vacuum, but I do, like you, look at them and go, okay, what else?
Now, former Kraken Brandon Tanev has, he obviously went to Winnipeg. He is now signed with the Utah Mammoth, 3 years, $2.5 million AAV. Obviously, the Kraken don't need more defensive players, so it made sense for him not to go back there. There were plenty of teams interested. I know for the vibes, Leaf fans would have loved to see the Tanevs together. But for the Utah Mammoth, which I'm still getting used to saying, what does he bring to this team that they didn't already have?
Really funny beginning of season photos.
Always.
Yes.
For the player cards. Intensity. A crazy motor. Good forecheck. Just responsible guy. Can chip in the occasional goal. Heavy on the occasional.
Big moves for the Kraken this year. People said they'd be aggressive, and they have been. Obviously, you got Brandon Tanev, but you also forgot about John Jason Peterka, noted Alan Walsh client. They got both of those guys
Utah
in the door. That's what I'm talking about.
I thought you said the Kraken.
Oh, I meant the Utah. I meant the Utah. Man.
You might have.
You know what?
He said the wrong team.
Did I say the wrong team? Well, you know what? Fine. Utah is what
Dumbass.
I meant.
No, not on me. There.
Tanev and JJ Peterka for $10.2 million. When you consider that for Arvidsson and Jeannot, which was $7.3 million. Or you look at what Philadelphia spent on Dvorak and Vladar, which is roughly $9 million. For $10 million for those two guys, that's not a bad day.
That's actually not a bad comparison at all, Adam. Brandon Tanev for significantly less than Jeannot.
I think that's interesting.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Tanev contract because I feel like his name is bigger than what he is as a player. Like, I feel like he's done things early on in his career that has made his name a little bigger, and then he hasn't really delivered on those expectations. But 2.5 isn't crazy. Like, it's okay to park that on your fourth line if you have the cap space, which they do.
Yeah.
So it's okay. If it's a team that's more up against it, I'm up in arms. Like, if the Leafs had signed this deal, I'm not too happy with it because they don't need a $2.5 million guy on their fourth line.
They got about 18
to
of those.
do what Brandon Tanev does. But
the Leafs have been the bridesmaid on almost everyone they've been rumored to be in on, so far today. There were Pizzetta rumors we heard. They got him for less than $800,000. Okay. I don't think there was exactly a bidding war there. But you lost out on Tanev. You've lost out on Jeannot.
yeah, but
Who you getting?
with Utah,
Sorry.
I didn't mean to go off on the Leafs. I just want to use them as for example. With Utah, I thought they would have higher expectations for themselves as a team at this point. And I thought they would have gotten some sort of big fish out there, whether it was making the Dobson deal or signing Ehlers or Besser or somebody so that they'd fill up the cap. And instead, they're kind of doing these middling deals where it seems like they won't be a cap team and have the space for a player like Brandon Tanev. So I'm a little disappointed in what Utah's done so far.
All there is middling deals.
Yeah.
So like I'm disappointed that they're in on these.
$15 million they still have to spend, Jesse Blake. So there's still time to get. You know what?
I'm rooting for you.
I'm sure the Utah Mammoth are sitting in
How
the room.
dare you!
They must be sitting
We're all rooting for you!
in the war room right now, going, "Oh no, we've let Jesse Blake down."
Yeah. Come on, Ryan Smith.
Now we're going to have to use him in our playoff hype up video when he's a wrong dumbass.
I know. No, hold on. Let me film something.
Here it is.
Matty, this is going to go on their hype video next year. The Utah Mammoth. That's not a playoff team. That'd be a joke if they made the playoffs. Are you kidding me? This team, no higher than last.
Here. Let me feed you a line.
Okay.
More like tusks down. Here.
More like Tuss down.
There you go.
Beautiful. Hey, SDPN's free agency continues. I forgot to extra.